There we go. So what we're going to talk about today is the general impact that money is going to have on our lives. We're then going to talk about the flow of money. We're going to do a budgeting exercise. We're going to get you guys either a budget for money that you may have now or money that you're going to have in the future. And then we're going to talk about how to start a side hustle. And this is a lot more of the newer content, especially the side hustle piece. But we'll dive into all of that. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the impact that money is going to have on our lives. So a lot of times when people think about financial education, when they think about how money works, it's typically thought about in dollars and cents. So if I need to go buy a house, I need to have this much of a down payment. It's going to cost me this much. How much do I need to pay in bills? Outside of just the dollars and cents piece of money, money is going to have an impact on every single area in your life. And so the way that we like to think about it is that we break it up into three different sections. So money is going to have an impact on your emotions. It's going to have an impact on your lifestyle, and it's going to have an impact on your future. So when we talk about emotions, 77% of Americans, they feel anxious about their current financial situation. Now, the thing that we always talk about with budgeting and awareness and what happens when it comes to your money is that there is no room for shame when it comes to money. We just need to understand how much money we have. When it comes to lifestyle, people don't understand the type of lifestyle that they're going to be signing themselves up for 3, 4, 5 years down the road, which is why one of the biggest regrets that people have is not saving enough, because by the time they get to the point where they're 40 and 50, they're like, wow, I wish I would have saved. I wish somebody would have told me about compound interest. We get into too much credit card debt. So it's student loans, retirement, and credit card debt are the three biggest financial debts that people have. And the biggest regret on all of that is that they didn't understand the implications of their decisions before they were going in. So we have to be extremely intentional about the lifestyle that we want to live and making sure that our money works for us and we make it work. So again, like the whatever way you want to spend your money, make it work towards your lifestyle. And the future. So 30% of Americans have a long-term financial plan. And this stems from the fact that most people can't handle their day-to-day finances. So if you don't have a plan for your day-to-day or your monthly finances, it's almost impossible to have a long-term financial plan. Good. Oh, were there any questions or did I just, no? Okay. And again, we like to start all this out with like the doom and gloom. So it's going to get a lot happier after this. But if you guys have been paying attention to the news, people are falling behind on their bills. They're in enormous amounts of credit card debt. They say millennials have an average of, I think it's up to like $29,000 or $30,000 of debt. And the biggest percentage of that debt is credit card. It's not student loans. And again, a lot of this just comes because we're not introduced to and we don't know how to use money before we make the mistakes. And then we try to recover. Let's not recover. We'll just get off to good habits. So that's the impact. So this is the basic, if you can understand this slide, your personal finances are going to be better than about 60 to 70% of people like in the US as a whole. What I was always taught growing up is that you get a little bit of money in, you save some, you take care of your needs, and you have fun with the rest. And typically when we think,
did you advance the slide?
Yeah, they did not go.
Here it is.
Did it go? Okay. All right. So welcome to the slide now. Don't know what happened. So this is what we're gonna call the flow of money. So again, when I was 8, I got paid $50 a week. I knew that I was gonna save $5 to go swimming. It was gonna cost me $25 to pay rent, the rent for food, and then everything else was gonna go towards video games. And that hasn't changed. It's just what I've bought through those different walks of life has changed. So you're going to see different things on budgeting. You're going to see like, okay, the perfect budget is going to be 50, 30, 20. So that's going to be 50% on savings, 30% on that's not true. 20% on savings, 50% on needs, and 30% on wants. What your budget percentage is, how you break it up, isn't necessarily the most important. Knowing what your percentages are and what you need them to be is super important. So I'll tell you guys right now, like my budget isn't a 50, 30, 20 because I'm 2.5 years in to a startup. So I haven't had a consistent flow of income. I haven't been putting aside 20% of my income for savings. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's because I understand what I've been doing. And again, we're going to talk about like investing in yourselves and what that looks like in a little bit. But this is the general flow of money. The first thing y'all need to do whenever you get paid, and I'm going to say this probably about 10 times, is save your money. It doesn't matter if you can only save 50 cents every paycheck. I don't care if you can save 25 cents every paycheck. Get in the habit of saving your money first. And we're going to talk about tips. But hey, if you don't take anything else from the night, save your money as soon as you get it, and then take care of your needs, then your wants. So, actually, all right, we got about 20 minutes left. And actually, this last part is probably one of my favorites. But so, just general budgeting, how are we feeling?
Is it okay to come off mic?
Yeah.
Come on, Olivia, what you got?
Overall, I'm feeling good. I really love budgeting and putting my money aside to save it, but I got a 9. I'm kind of the type of person that like spending my money, no matter how much I have, makes me nervous just because I never know when I'm going to need it. So like having the ball out moment is kind of scary for me just because I don't know, things come up, and yeah, you have money in your savings, but maybe that savings is for something different. So that's just kind of, I have to get more into the ball out moment with the money that I do have.
And so that's two-sided, and one, because again, I really do get that. You're like, what if I need this later? Like I'm having fun. What if I can't eat next month? Like again, like that is it's a real thought that people have. And so the piece that will help it is setting your money aside. So I should have brought my wallet in here, but I've got 2 separate debit cards. One's for my bills and the other one's for my fun money. And so that being like, that is a real big thing for me, because I know no matter what, like this ball out money, it will never tap into my bills money. So like, it's the same way I set money aside for savings, I set money aside for fun. And so that is a huge psychological piece. And again, like this comes down to habits. But another piece, like you're almost speaking to a deeper problem that a lot of people, and especially a lot of people of color or people who come from low income areas have. And it's that scarcity mindset. And it's because a lot of the times that like, and when I say we, because again, my parents, like my mom grew up, like my grandma grew up during the Great Depression. And so my mom was raised extremely poor. And so she has that same type of mentality. And she always says, like, I've been making very, very good money my entire life. Like I've run my own law firm. She's run her own law firm for the last 15, 16 years. But she still has that mentality of, am I going to have enough? Am I going to have enough to like pay my mortgage? Am I going to have enough to do this? Even though she's been a successful attorney for so long. And I have this conversation with her and she's like, no, you're right. Like I have been able to support myself, but that scarcity mindset and that feeling like you're not going to have enough, that's something that's a lot more ingrained. And at the end of the day, it's just something that you have to be aware of and then know like how to help that moving forward. And again, the easiest way that I've found so far is separating your money. So if you have that ball out card, I mean, at the end of the day too, like the number of times I'll get to the end of the month and I'll have more money left in all of my accounts than I did before. But on the off chance, like you can always pull from your ball out money and put it back into your bills if you really do need it. And that's like another great tip that actually an accountant gave my mom to make her to stop panicking. Was he was like, it doesn't matter, all of the money is yours. So if you have it in your ball out fund and for some reason you need it, then just switch the money over. And it sounds like a simple thing to say, but all of the money that you have is yours. And a lot of people, that's a big step for a lot of people to take. How's that sound? Or how's that feel?
Sorry, couldn't unmute. It sounds great. I actually have like 4 different. So I'm under Bank of America, but I have 3 different accounts, like the savings. Then I have my rent account, and then I have my like the ball out account, and then I have Digit. Have you heard of Digit?
No, it was a Digit.
It pulls money into goals. So like if you want to go on a trip, you can pull money into that. So then I have that too, but I still just can't get over like, and I know it's all mine, but I'm like, I don't want to pull from savings at all. ever if I ever come out with something to need. And it's just like, I don't know, it's hard, but it's great to know that I'm not alone
Mhm.
and there's other people that have the same issue.
So as far as pulling out a savings, something that'll help is the same way that you write down your goals, put them in a journal. Because, and so again, this is something else that'll happen. It's like, so say you save up over 3 to 6 months for something. Well, when you go to make that purchase, you got to pull it out of savings, right? And so you think, oh no, I'm pulling from my savings. I'm pulling from my savings. You're like, but why else were you saving? Like you were saving for this moment. So in the moment, it may feel like a purchase, but a lot of times, like when you write down your goals and you see it, you think, oh, okay, it's been 3 months. Like, oh, it's been 3 to 6 months that I've been saving up for this. Like, of course I should buy it. Like, and again, like it's really not just you. Like I had actually this laptop I'm on right now. I had my first laptop for 8 years. And I had saved up, I had saved up money for about 6 years to get a new laptop because it was dying for the last four of them. And so by the time my laptop finally went out, I was like, I can't pull money from my savings. Like why would I do this? Like, this is just an expensive purchase. And my like mom was like, what do you mean? Like, how else are you going to work? Like, this is your livelihood. Like, you need to purchase this. But it's that emotional break and that emotional block. And so sometimes you just need people in your ear saying like, no, it's okay to spend your money a little bit. But again, the more you hear that, the more used to it you'll get. So, yeah. Questions, comments. Hey, listen, I love these type of questions. Please keep them coming. Anybody else? Okay. So we've got, and honestly, this last slide is probably.
I have a quick question.
Please.
So could you talk about like retirement a little bit? Like I know a little bit about retirement and like opening a Roth IRA or like an investment account, like a 401k where you can like put money and like get money back. So my question is like, is it a good idea to invest? And like, if you are saving for retirement, how should you do that? Should you put it into a 401k or should you just put it into your regular savings account and not use that money until you retire? Like, how would you say it's the best way to do it?
Definitely. So a Roth IRA or an IRA is going to be a retirement account that you're going to do on your own. A 401k is going to be a retirement account that you're a job. Like, so if you work for a company, that's going to be what they set up for you. And then you're going to contribute to it and they're going to also contribute to it. So anytime you want to save for retirement, that's going to be a totally different account. So you're always going to want that to be separate. And the biggest reason for that is that it's going to be taxed differently. So you're going to have to pay less taxes down the road than you would if you put it into a traditional savings account. And okay, so here we go. So the same way that we talk about savings just to make an emergency fund, retirement savings works the exact same way. If you look at a 401k, as soon as you get paid, they're going to take it directly from your paycheck and put it into your retirement account before you even see the money. Same thing with the employer. They're also going to put the money into your account. So the first thing that you do, essentially, without you knowing, when you get paid, is you put your money aside to save it. Now, what savings mean at every point in life is going to be a little bit different. So yeah, as soon as you get your first job, if they've got a 401k, you want to put as much as you can into that, or start your own retirement account as soon as you start getting an income. But again, that's just another arm of savings. So we want to have an emergency fund. We want to have a retirement savings. We want to have like our fun savings. So, whenever you want to go have trips, and then we can start to look into like, okay, well, how do we invest? And again, the difference between savings and investing is savings is, well, I guess retirement you can consider like an investment because you wouldn't touch that money for 50 to 60 years. So that's a gray area. I'll give you that. Did I answer your question?
You did. Thank you.
Cheers. Anybody else? Again, I love these questions. I really do.